welcome.
Welcome back to Michalo Peace Theater, where we listen to new music together and hopefully discover something that we'll love. With your friendly neighborhood singing coach, Michal Tauber. Hello there, singing friends. Welcome back to my singing channel. I'm your friendly neighborhood singing coach, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of Tony Iommi's perfume crossover project, wherein he designed 2 scents for Sergio Momo of the high-end Italian perfume company Zurhoff. In my last video, we looked at Scent of Dark, and today we're going to be looking at Deified. Okay, and this is a reaction request by Michael German. So let's jump right in and check it out. All right, it's going to pause it there for a moment. So again, we have Tony Iommi playing guitar, and then we also have Sergio Momo in the video. And this video is very different visually than in the last one. The last one was like a castle scene, and it looked like Dracula, you know, it was very, very beautiful. This one is more reminiscent of like the Take On Me video, you know, where it starts with this like drawing and then goes between that and video. So it's very, very cool and very interesting. You know, I was very caught up in the visuals and wasn't planning on listening to 2 minutes before pausing it. So I think it's really unique and open to interpretation, and it makes me really curious, and I want to think about what it means more. You know, like you have this little kid who's drawing, and maybe that's supposed to represent like Tommy when he was younger, and he's studying history, and he tears a page out of history and makes it into a paper airplane and then throws it, and it turns into this like classical sculptural like Grecian figure, you know, that I guess represents history, you know, classical history or something. And the title of the perfume is Deified, you know, which this is like a larger than life, almost deity. And then you have all of these military aircraft circling around this godlike figure and attacking it and breaking pieces off of it and like destroying history in a way. So it makes me really curious as to like what the storyline that they were thinking of, how they want people to interpret it, or if there is like one interpretation, or they want you to kind of interpret it in your own way. So yeah, I have to think about it more and think about what it means to me, but I'm curious as to what you guys interpret it as well. And then in terms of the music, it's very dramatic and it even has this it's very dark, very minor, very intense, and it has these background vocals now which are very classical, and it kind of gives me almost like a devilish kind of vibe. So certainly I hear the metal influence, and this one feels more classical to me as well. Definitely hear the crossover genres, and it's super intense and super dramatic. Let's continue. I don't want to talk for too long. Let's keep watching. Cool. So I really, really liked the video. I have a theory now as to what it means. I didn't realize that Deified is a palindrome until they wrote it that way, where it's like a mirror image at the end of the video. I really, really liked it. It reminds me of like a requiem, and like a classical requiem. And it kind of makes me think that it is a requiem to history in a way. So in the beginning, the boy is like, oh, I have to study history and whatever, so he is kind of like being really flippant about it and dismissive. But then he realizes that if you ignore and forget about the lessons of history and don't learn from our classical ideals, then we're doomed to repeat history, right? And that the modern era is so destructive and it can destroy the beneficial things that we can derive from the lessons of the past. And once the boy realizes that and sees it visually, he goes to study history, and then that's able to reconstruct the lessons of the past and preserve the good things from history. So that's my theory, and I wonder if there's an alternate interpretation that you guys have, or if you think that I'm on the right track with that. So let me know. And I really like the music. It's very dramatic, as I said. And, I always think about obviously there's a lot of celebrities who have perfume lines, I think about Paris Hilton and Britney Spears and Jessica Simpson and all these people, or Lady Gaga, that have celebrity fragrances. And for me, it's always seemed a little bit just a cash grab, And so it's really interesting to see it done in such a creative and invested way, that it is kind of this whole creative project that has all these facets and things, and it's not just slapping your name on something and trying to get like an edgy angle or something. Like I remember Lady Gaga's perfume, when she was advertising it, she was like, it smells like semen and blood or whatever. I was like, it doesn't sound very appealing, but I don't know. I feel like that was just like a marketing angle, you know what I mean? And obviously this, I'm sure, is, they had put a lot of thought into it as a marketing angle as well, but it does feel more genuinely like a creative endeavor and something that's really holistic. So I really like it. I think it's really interesting. And yeah, I'm gonna have to like go to Macy's or something and see if I can smell what this smells like, you know, because I'm really curious now. So I really enjoyed it, a very interesting project. Thank you for the recommendations, Mike. I hope you enjoyed my reaction, and I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, take care. And of course, happy singing, stay warm. Bye.